gives everybody these dowsing rods and says, see if you can find his grave. Use the dowsing rods, ask the dowsing rods, take me to so-and-so's, the caretaker's grave, the headstone and grave. And I didn't have no dowsing stones or anything. I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm zoning in on this guy, and I'm like, okay, I know where the grave is. It's about 50 yards over there to my left. Now, it's pitch dark at this time. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I can see the only reason I can see the head marker because it's pretty big. It's like a pretty kind of decent sized obelisk, maybe 10, 12 feet high. And I know it's the one. It's about 50 yards away. And I told the other lady, I said, you know what? I even know who's going to find this grave. I said, two ladies that are very, very well intoned, even though with abilities, even though they don't know it. Sure enough, they walked right to it. Boom. So they got a free psychic reading from Sonia, which was okay, great. So then everybody wrapped up and they was leaving, but before they left, she said, see if we can still see the spirit of the caretaker. Everybody's looking and nobody sees nothing. And I said to the two ladies, do you see? I said, he's right up there behind that tree. Keep peeking out behind that tree. I can see him. And they said, oh my God, the one lady could see him too. And he was up there behind this tree. I'm telling you, Gary, I could see him. He was with, what it reminded me of. You ever hear how people describe how Bigfoot hides behind a tree and keeps bobbing out and back and forth?
Oh yeah.
That is what he was doing. The spirit of this guy was doing that. And I could see him, and this other lady could see him too, but the other one couldn't. And I was like, so then I said, let me just walk up a little bit, and I was trying to zone in and talk to him, and he was gun shy. There was 25 people there. He didn't want to, you know what I mean? He didn't want to be like a prodded animal, and there's people there. Well, some of them were respectful, some weren't. He didn't feel like he had to be on command to be on display for anybody, especially these people. And I got that. I said, yeah, I kind of relate to him. I understand that. I'm not asking you. I get it. No biggie. So then everybody wraps up and they walk off. So I thought, you know what? I had a kind of rapport with him. I'm going to walk back up there. So I walked back up there and I said, everybody's gone now. It's just me. If you want to come out and talk to me or everything, you got anything to say or anything you want me to tell anybody or whatever, let me know. So he walked out from the tree. I know this sounds bizarre, but he walked out from the tree, standing there, and I said, would it be all right if I take your picture? And he said, yeah, it'd be okay. So I took my phone, I took a picture, and I posted it. I mean, I got a picture, and it is one of the best pictures I ever got of a spirit ever, maybe ever. And I posted it. It's a hell of a picture. Now, I could see him plain as day with my bare eyes, but through my phone, you couldn't see him. So I just pointed in the direction. I could see him with my eyes, but phone cameras, I couldn't even see him with the phone camera. But I could see him with my bare eyes. So I took the picture. I don't know if he's going to show up or not, but actually the picture, you can't even see him. But however, when I put the light filter on it, boom, he sticks right out like a sore thumb. There he is, bam, right there.
Yeah, I saw that. You're brave. You couldn't get me, James, in a cemetery at night. I am sorry. Maybe I watched too many zombie movies, and The Walking Dead. But I somehow the cemetery is bad enough going during the daylight because that's kind of depressing for me. But on the other hand, because I know one day I'm going to be in one. But going there at night, if there is such thing as evil spirits, and and if you watched all these old movies, zombie movies, and all these other type of movies that were made in the 20s and 30s, it takes a man-sized to go into the cemetery because you couldn't pay me. I'm sorry. Well, maybe you could if you gave me enough. But
I got two advantages. One, I think I got this condition where I have no fear. I just have no fear. And the other thing, I've got God on my side, so I'm fearless anyway. So what I got to lose?
You got God on your side. What happens if you find out 6 months from now, or when you die, that God was an alien and seeded our planet? Then you're going to feel rather embarrassed, aren't you?
Not at all. Hey, look, it is what it is. Whatever it is, it is.
Well, I got a funny feeling. Now, maybe I'm getting more weirder the older I am. At least,
can't be any weirder than the story I just told you, but it's true.
Well, yeah, but at least I'm not in diapers yet. But you know what? When you really think about, maybe when we pass on, we go to a parallel universe. Another planet opposite of us. And we continue on our lives. But instead of being married to that mean old lady, you're married to somebody that's sweet and lovable. Instead of having that crappy job working in the sand pit, shoveling cement all day, you're executive in a bank.
Yeah, listen, I could sit here for the next 3 hours and tell you many different theories on all kinds of that stuff. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, the different rabbit holes you can go down with that one.
Well, when I pass on, I'll send you a message to your cell phone.
Yeah, you listen. I will be able to talk to you if you pass on. If you can't come to me, I can make you come to me just by thinking of you. You'll appear, and I'll know when you're around, unless you don't want me to know. Well, but I still think I'll know.
Well, it'll be interesting if my radio show continues on when I'm gone, and it's coming from the grave.
That would be the way to do it. Who knows? Technology coming up in the next few years, somebody passes on, and maybe we can dial right up to them. That would be something.
Yeah, look at some of these people. Actually prepaid for a couple years of phone line to their coffin and had a phone installed in their coffin. You know
what? That's the modern version of the old bell in the coffin. Remember?
Well, yeah. Well, when I was a little kid, my grandmother told me, of course, now we're talking about, this is a long time ago, and my family originated from the Ukraine and Germany and all that stuff, and then came to the Dakotas, in the 1800s. But, she was telling me that, one of her relatives passed on. And, that they buried him. And then, like a day later in the plot, because I don't even think it was a cemetery. I think, back then they used to plant you where you lived pretty much.
Oh,
yeah. And they said they heard noise coming out of the ground. And then they opened up the coffin. Well, by the time they opened the coffin, the person was already dead. But she said that what always stuck with me all my life is that, the whatever fingernails that they had, they didn't have any fingertips left because they were trying to dig themselves out of the coffin. Could you imagine? Could you imagine back then? I mean, people just maybe having a health condition where they passed out. Oh, he's dead. Just bury him. Yeah.
I got to tell you, it would be a horrendous, anxiety-filled way to go. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't want to mess with that spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they should have buried the people up. Maybe they shouldn't bury them on their back. They should bury them on their stomach. And that way, if they come to and, then, depending on how the person lived, they could be maybe digging their way to where they belong.
I don't know. I think it's a lose-lose either way you look at it, Gary.
I don't know. I didn't think much of death at all, honestly, till I hit like in my mid-50s. And then one day I realized, James, that, hey, I'm not going to live forever. And so, what are
you going to do? It's just, actually, you know what? Death, to me, I don't fear death at all. Death is just, us exiting our meat suit and going on to the next plane, to whatever it is, to be reincarnated to, if we have more life's lessons, or to go on to the next higher level of ourselves, or whatever it may be.
But what happens if there's nothing? And when we die, like when your computer dies or your cell phone dies, you throw it away, it's over and done with, right? Well, what's really bad is, all your experiences you have from growing up as a little kid, right?
Right.
I have memories of going back to roughly about 3 years old. I remember a few little odds and ends, and then some things, more as I got older, I have more memories of. But, all those challenges, everything you've learned, everything you've accomplished, and it seems like you could start accomplishing things the older you get, and then just as everything is going just perfect, right? Somebody just yanks the carpet under your feet, and then you're gone.
Yep, that's the way it goes. And you know what? Maybe this is the only realm that that there's a veil on most of us where we can't see or remember our past lives and everything. But I do think when you go back, you take a checks and balances how you did and what life's lessons you've learned and bettered yourself from. And if not, you're still spinning on a karma wheel, sitting there. You're going to redo it over again, and you get evaluated and go on from there. And once you reach that certain higher level of yourself, then you're at where you need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what. And well, here's the thing. First of all, we're energy, so we're not nothing. When we die, we're not just going to. And that's it, because energy just don't die. And another thing, the soul weighs like 21 grams. So when you die, you're not just going to. That's it. There's no just it. And you can even prove this stuff all scientifically. It's not just my opinions or Bible talk. I mean, just the fact that our moon is perfectly where it is, and it controls the tides, which controls the weather and the currents and all that stuff. It's all perfect. That alone proves that there's a creator of some sort, whether it be an alien or God or higher power, whatever it may be.
Well, there's something out there. You know, unfortunately, we don't know what it is till we pass on.
And then, you know what, we still might not know what it is, but guess what? Maybe it's not, maybe we don't need to know. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know until we get to that bridge, I guess. But I'm not in a hurry to cross that bridge.
I'm not either. I want to be one of these people that live to 200. I don't want to live past 200. I think 200 is a nice age, you know. But I'll tell you one thing. Trying to stay young looking is rather expensive. You know, going home and buying all this chicken fat to rub into my skin to get rid of the wrinkles and all that stuff. And never smiling. You know, if you smile a lot, you get wrinkles. So I don't smile.
That's why you're always grumpy.
Yeah, that's, you know, if people think I am. And then I have people come up to me and they go, what are you, like in your mid-50s? And I go, hey, I'm pushing 70, dude. No, you don't look like it. Well, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't have any emotions. That's what you have to have. No emotions, you know.
Just tell them my chicken fat, it's only a couple days old, but I'm like 70. God.
Yeah, can you imagine going out with somebody who uses chicken fat on their hair and going out on a date? Hey,
I couldn't imagine.
That smells like Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know,
they get salmonella by using their comb.
Yeah,
I think I'll stay bald.
Yeah. I don't know. That's something I've been thinking about, is shaving my head again. The last time I did it was because the medicine they gave me, my hair started falling out, so I decided to shave it. I don't know. I have pros and cons, because you know what? It seemed like when I shaved it, it was like I had to shave it twice a day. Otherwise, I kind of look.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And
I don't. Yeah, that's a pain. Listen, I shave my face in the morning. By evening, man, I got a whole nother beard again. So yeah, my hair grows like weed on steroids. So I don't even shave my head. I just kind of buzz it low as I can get it, and that's shaving's too much because it just grows back and it drives me crazy.
Well, I don't even hardly shave. I mean, anymore. You know, I shave like once or twice a month my face. You know why? Because people don't have to see me on doing a radio show. So that's, you know, I don't know.
There you go.
Hey, I'm getting a little silly tonight, but what can I say? I mean,
go with your gut, Gary. Go with your gut. Your gut's never wrong. Whatever your gut intuition tells you, do it.
I will say this. I deleted some people today off of my Facebook account. Because I no offense, I have this thing and I'm going to make a lot of enemies right this moment, and I don't really care. You know, I really worked hard all my life, adult life. Okay, I after I got out of the military, my parents made me either go back to school, which I went back to school, and I had to take psychology, and I had to take auto repair class to learn, you know, a skill, just in case my other skill didn't work. And then neither one of those appealed to me. You know, I didn't want to go to a regular college and become a psychiatrist or anything like that. That was too many years of time I didn't want to invest. And then I found out I was colorblind, so why bother going through auto body repair course and realize when you paint somebody's car the wrong color on half of the car, they kind of get upset. So I figured, you know what? I always liked talking. So, I got involved with two of the area's top DJs, opened up a broadcast